This is Kenny the Handyman, and today I'd like to go over how to properly and accurately test your pool or hot tub water levels so that the water is safe for swimmers by being able to kill off harmful bacteria, and also safe for your pool equipment, such as your motors and the pool plumbing and liners, to make sure it's not too acidic so it doesn't damage the equipment or cause scale on the equipment. So the two common methods for testing your water would be either pool test strips like these, or a pool chemistry test set like this one, which is what I prefer because I feel it is a lot more accurate, at least for my eyesight. But we will first use one of these pool test strips because they are pretty good for a quick measurement, especially if you just want to concentrate on one reading like chlorine. So you just take the strip and you just dip it in, try to go down 18 inches, and then pull it out and wait about 15 seconds. And then we're going to flip the jar around and just compare the different colors here. Now the problem I have is that, and I hear a lot of other guys have this problem, is that I don't see the different shades of color as clearly as maybe some other people. So when I see a different shade of yellow here for the chlorine, it may not be the same shade that's on the bottle. But my eyesight is telling me that the chlorine level is right around 1 here. So it's a little bit light on chlorine. Oh, incidentally, this is bromine that's in this hot tub, and that's what I prefer to use for a hot tub, and then chlorine for a pool. But looks like the water is also a little bit on the high. The hardness is a little bit on the hard side, and the let's see, the pH looks to be high as well. Then we got our alkalinity, which is also high. So the pool water in this case is probably somewhat off, but we're going to test it with a chemical test kit now, which I feel is a little bit more accurate, and that will give us a different reading here. So again, take your test container here, dip it down about 1.5 feet deep, and then we're going to just empty off a little water off the top so it's at the level of the test level. And then we are going to put 5 drops of this bromine test solution into the container. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just cap it and swirl it around. Now you want to compare the test color on a white sheet of paper so you can accurately see it. So this is verifying that the test strip was pretty accurate for the chlorine, and I'd say it looks like about a 1.0 level reading, which is on a low side. For this particular hot tub, I like to keep it at around 2. So we're going to have to increase the bromine levels in this hot tub. The next thing we're going to want to test is the alkalinity. You want to test that before you test your pH. Those are the 3 things we test, is the chlorine or bromine, then the alkalinity, then the pH, and you do it in that order. So the alkalinity and pH affect each other. Actually, all of them affect each other, but that's the order you want to test it in. Otherwise, you'll never get your alkalinity or the other ones balanced until you get your alkalinity balance. So we're going to test that next. So to test my water's alkalinity level, I filled up my test beaker to the indicated test line here, and we're going to put 3 different solutions in here. So the first solution is 1 drop of this neutralizer solution, and that would just neutralize the sanitizer that's in here. Drop 1 drop in and swirl it around. Then we're going to put 1 drop of this alkalinity test solution in here. And 1 drop in this as well. Turns the water a slight blue color. Swirl it around gently. And then we're going to be counting the number of drops we put in of this alkalinity test. And the alkalinity will be the number of drops times 10. So let's start counting. We've got, and when you put this in, when the solution turns from blue to light yellow, then that's the amount of drops that you stop at and multiply it times 10 to get your total alkalinity. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it's starting to turn a little yellow when you put them in, but then it turns right back to blue. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Still blue. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Still turning back to blue, although you can see some yellow in it. 17, 18, 19, 20. Almost. It's just on the verge of turning. 20, 21, 22. Almost. 23. Still got a little blue in it. Oh, I'd say it's yellow now. So I'm going to say that's 23 drops times 10, which is 230 parts per million. And for the alkalinity, we want that to be between like 120 and 140. So this is definitely high on the alkalinity side. So now we're going to test the pH, and I dumped the alkalinity test outside of the pool. But before we fill up the test vial again, we're going to want to make sure we rinse it out thoroughly. Just don't dump the test solution into the pool. Now we're going to just dump the water out to the proper test level, which we have it right here. So to test the pH, again we're going to add 1 drop of this neutralizing agent to neutralize any of the chlorine or bromine that's in here. And we'll swirl this around. And then we're going to add 5 drops of the pH test solution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to swirl this around and compare the color to the color chart. And that's turning pretty bright pink, so I'd say the pH is pretty high on this water. So yeah, so we put it against the white paper and you can see the pH is very high in this. It's approaching it's like 8, probably around 8 something, or 7 or 8 something, so it's too high. So we're going to have to lower the pH on this. And there's different charts based upon how many gallons of water is in your pool or hot tub as to how much acid and stuff to lower the pH here. But that'll be a subject for another video. So anyways, this is how to test your proper chemistry for your water, and I hope that helps.